So here we are today with the Revell Star Wars TIE Fighter, the original TIE Fighter. And we're going to, in this part of the video, part one, we're just going to construct the TIE Fighter and we'll do a little bit of painting also. So as we'll like paint inside the cockpit and do a little bit of paint washing on the cockpit also, as you will see in the video. So just getting everything prepared. We've got some files, got a craft knife there to cut the pieces of plastic away from the frame, or resin parts, or whatever you want to call it. So, right, so just sussing out where things are. We've got our instructions there. I've got them in my hand here also. I don't know if anybody gets any benefit out of these videos. Maybe I'll just go straight to the paint job in the future, but I tend to just stick it up anyway. So anyway, we just cut out parts. What parts we cut out? We got the pilot, of course, a TIE Fighter pilot, which is number 1. The chair and number 2, and the base and number 3. And just cleaning out the nozzle there of the glue. And a handy trick if it gets blocked out, because it's quite a thin little tube that comes out of this particular glue thingy. And I use a guitar string just to stick through the hole, and that clears out all the glue. And it's quite a handy glue gun thing, because it's quite a thin tube that the glue goes down, and so therefore you just get like little splashes of glue just where you want them on small models. So where are we? Right, we've got another part there, which is the TIE Fighter controls, and that goes into the front of the cockpit, which is number 5 and number 4. We're just filing off our pieces there. Oh, there's a transfer that goes on to the cockpit window. I tend not to use them. I find those really hard to get on, because I did a TIE Interceptor. If anybody's been watching this channel, I stick up the odd model video from time to time, and I put a TIE Interceptor up plus Boba Fett Slave 1. But the transfers, I find them a bit fiddly in some places, especially on the cockpit, because cockpit window, because it's a bit curved, of course. So I'll probably paint that in myself instead of putting the transfer on, and that'll be in the next part of the video. Right, so getting our pieces together, we just painted the pilot, and I've been using, I'm not following the paints that are recommended in the instructions, I'm just using what I got here. I quite fancy using a metallic cast iron, which just gives a little bit of a metallic look on the black, and you can see I just painted the base up there as well, just get that out of the way, put that to one side. So that's the same colour I'm using there, which is the cast iron black, which gives you good coverage as well. So sort of like give it a few coats where we need it in the solid places. And what I'm doing now is watering down the paint, as it's an acrylic paint. You see that I just got a little tub thingy. Oops, just tap the microphone there. And just watering that down to put some washes on the cockpit. So just applying with a paintbrush there and wiping away with a cotton wool bud or Q-tip, just so that the paint kind of hangs around in the recesses. It gives a kind of worn look, and it shows up the details in the model. So you'll be familiar with this technique. It's a very common technique, and I use it a lot in models on this channel also. So we've got the cockpit nearly ready with the washes, and we will start to assemble the cockpit and glue it together, ready to put inside the main TIE Fighter body. So of course it's best to paint these parts because they will be housed inside the main TIE Fighter body. So of course some things you need to paint if you want to paint it before you assemble other parts. So just gluing it together there, and there we are. We got the cockpit ready to insert into the main body of the TIE Fighter. And I forgot to say that some of the parts that make up the cockpit, which we haven't mentioned, is number 6 and number 7, along with number 8, which is the back of the TIE Fighter. Right, so now we're cutting out the main body of the TIE Fighter with our middle section, which is 9 and 13. But before we put the pieces together, we've got a piece number 12, and we've got our transparent pieces, which is the cockpit lid, which is transparent, and we've also got the cockpit glass windshield at the front. With the lid on the top of the TIE Fighter, there is also a plastic piece which kind of houses the window part, and we put that inside one of the parts of the TIE Fighter body, which is number 9. I ended up fiddling around with it for ages, but basically you just got a hinge on that top lid and you can like move it in and out. I don't know why they bothered with that really, because it sort of makes it more toy-like, but I still went ahead and did that. And we stuck the thruster on the back. I think the video is going quicker than I'm talking here. And that was number 8. Put it all together with the cockpit windshield, number 14, and 11 for the top, I think I said, and number 10 for the top, on top of the lid. So now we're on to the wings, which is number 16 and 18 for the 2 wings, plus 17 and 19 for those 2 attachments that go on to the wings of the TIE Fighter. So that's it for now in this part of the video. You can see there's some other models that we've done in some other videos. I got the Slave 1 out because I just wanted to paint the base of the Slave 1 the same colour as the base of the TIE Fighter we're doing. So I just got that out just to do that while I was there doing the paint job and had the paint out. We've got the TIE Interceptor, which some of you might have seen, which we did over Christmas, I think over a year ago now. Christmas 2018, I think. There's Slave 1 again. So in the next video, we'll get everything together and we'll obviously paint the wings of the TIE Fighter. There's another model there. The female mechanical soldier garage kit. Yeah, so we're just waiting there. And in the second part, we will paint out the wings and paint the whole TIE Fighter and assemble the whole thing, and that'll be the finished piece. So there's Astro Cat. She's hungry, she wants something to eat. So see you in part 2 when we finish off the TIE Fighter. So here we are in the second part of building and painting the Revell TIE Fighter level 3 kit. And what we're going to do here is just fill in the panels on the wings, and I'm using a kind of cast iron effect metallic paint on this particular TIE Fighter. I'm not following the color codes in the instructions. I'll just do it with the paints I've got handy. And so in this case, just using this iron cast paint, which I've already mentioned, and I kind of watered it down to give it some fluidity to go into the nooks and crannies and all that type of thing. So it don't come out totally metallic, you just got a sort of subtle metallic look to it. So so first off, yeah, we just paint the segments in on the wings there, both sides of each wing, and give them a couple of coats, get that nice solid colour. I'm just painting up a Boba Fett Slave 1 stand there, which is featured in another video. I thought I'd paint the stand while I'm making this model, and painting the stand for the TIE Fighter in this video. So anyway, yeah, pretty straightforward, using the same techniques, pretty much the same as I usually do, for solid colours, pretty much solid paint, a couple of coats, maybe watered down just for fluidity and to make it flatter. We don't want any sort of drip marks and all that type of thing. And watering it down even further to put washes onto the parts where we want washes, like we have there on the cockpit of the TIE Fighter. So just putting washes over and wiping off with a piece of tissue paper and anything you can get your hands on. I use cotton buds or Q-tips just to wipe off the paint in the more awkward areas, and just sort of build that up, build the layers up to get the effect that you're looking for. So I kind of like this effect because it looks like the gives a kind of worn look and maybe some sort of battle damage look also, so it's not totally clean. And another advantage of doing this is if you haven't got a totally steady hand or some of your lines aren't straight, your washes will kind of hide that and let that merge into the model, and you won't be able to tell any difference. And I think it looks pretty good and gives you a kind of authentic looking paint job, if that makes any sense. Ran out the actual camera ran out at one point. I think I'm putting the second coat there on the panels of the wings, but then the camera did run out, so I missed the bit where I stuck the wings to the main body. And all we did after that, once we stuck the wings to the main body, was just to continue with washes over the wings and the body, and just to continue wiping off and leaving the paint in the recesses with our iron effect, cast iron effect paint. So like I say, relatively straightforward, pretty much the same effects as we use in the other videos. So you can see Slave 1 there in the video, and that I did a video on that just over Christmas 2019. So during the this video is being made during the coronavirus thing in the UK, so we're on lockdown at the moment. So that's where I lost a little bit of footage. So we put the TIE Fighter together so you can see where we're at the moment, and I think that looks pretty good. And we just continue with some more washes, as you will see. Yeah, so it's beginning of April here, and we're kind of halfway through our lockdown thingy over here in the UK. Well, not, I don't know if it's halfway through or not. I don't know how long it's going to last. Like, all of us don't know how long it's going to last. So we'll have to see how it goes. So I hope everybody's safe out there and keeping safe. You have plenty of supplies and food and all that type of thing, and you're keeping yourselves busy. So there we are, another wash of the cast iron effect paint over the whole TIE Fighter. You're just applying the wash and then wiping off until you get what you're looking for. So I wanted to keep the light parts relatively light. I think I might invest in some proper model paints at some point. Maybe on this TIE Fighter. It would have been nice maybe to make the body a little bit lighter and use the correct paint as in the specifications, so that we can keep the hardcore Star Wars nerds happy. So there we are, job done. One original TIE Fighter, Revell kit, painted up, ready to go. And there we are. So you enjoyed the video. Thanks for watching. Keep safe and see you soon. Over and out for now.